So hello everyone, welcome to our presentation video. We are group 1 from the English for Academic Purposes course at Sultan Ageng Tirtayasa University under the supervision of Ms. Yusti Fargianti, SPD MPD. And in this video, we are pleased to present our group outreach program entitled Food Security Education Through Local Food Diversification for Mothers and Toddlers at Nusa Indah Integrated Health Post or Posyandu in Sinanghala Village. And the members of our group are myself, Fitriani Kusmastuti, along with Ismaya Gisela Sancaka, Rizky Fadila, and Nur Azizah Ramadhani.
Okay, so let's start with the introduction. Food security remains a strategic issue that continues to attract the attention of the international community. According to the State of Food Security and Nutrition in the World 2025 report published jointly by FAO, IFAD, UNICEF, WFP, and WHO, approximately 8.2% of the world's population, equivalent to 673 million people, experienced hunger in 2024. Although this figure decreased compared to 80.5% in 2023 and 80.7% in 2022. It remains far from the Sustainable Development Goals or SDGs target of zero hunger by 2030. In addition, around 2.6 billion people worldwide are unable to access healthy and nutritious diet. Among children under 5 years of age, the global prevalence of stunting reached 23.2% or approximately 150.2 million children in 2024, while the prevalence of acute malnutrition or wasting stood at 6.6%, affecting around 42.8 million children. FAO emphasized that food diversification based on local potential is one of the most effective approaches to strengthening household food security. At the national level, Indonesia faced the challenge of a high dependence on rice as the primary staple food source. Per capita, rice consumption data saw a declining trend from 81.5 kg per capita per year in 2021 to 78.5 kg per capita per year in 2025. However, this figure remains relatively high, indicating that the diversification of non-rice food source has not yet been fully optimized. The national stunting prevalence was recorded at 21.6% in 2022 and decreased to 19.8% in 2024. Nevertheless, this rate remained significantly above the 14.2% target set in the 2025 until 2029 National Medium-Term Development Plan or RPJMN. The Food Security Index (FSI) of Banten Province in 2025 stood at 77.78 with availability, affordability, and utilization index of 70.63, 86.46, and 76.39 respectively. Although the province is classified under Priority 6 or highly food secure based on its composite score, many of its sub-districts still fall within vulnerable to moderately food secure categories. Serang Regency recorded a composite FSI score of 81.12 and ranked 33rd nationally. However, its agricultural production remains heavily concentrated on rice, reaching 419,792.42 tons in 2025, while the production of non-rice commodities has shown a declining trend. Sindanghala village, the largest village by area and the second most populous village in Pabuaran district, with a population of 8,812 people, is surrounded by abundant local food resources. These include a wide variety of vegetables and fruits such as salak, melinjo, mangoes, and durians. However, the village food security index experienced a significant decline, falling from 69.68 in 2023 to 65.68 in 2024, which is even lower than its 2020 level of 67.88. This gap between the abundance of local food resources and the relatively low FSI indicates that the primary challenge lies not merely in food availability but rather in the community's knowledge and awareness regarding food security and nutrition. Okay, so objective of the program is increase knowledge about food security, promote local food diversification, encourage the use of local food resources in daily diets, and then support the My Plate or Isi Piringku campaign promoted by the Ministry of Health.
The gap between conceptual understanding and practical knowledge. One of the most striking findings from the pretest result was the significant gap between participants' conceptual understanding and practical knowledge. On the one hand, one of the participants 100% were familiar with the terms food security or food diversification. From a conceptual perspective, on the other hand, when asked participant question, all participants 100% already knew that cassava, sweet potatoes, maize, and taro could serve as alternative to rice of sources of energy, while 93.3% understood that white rice alone is insufficient to meet the nutritional needs of children under 5. These findings indicate that residents of Sindanghala village are not entirely unfamiliar with the concept of dietary diversity and their daily practice. The main issue is that they lack a structured knowledge framework that connect this practice to the broader concept of food security. The educational outreach program successfully bridged this gap. After the activity, 100% of participants understood the meaning of food security and 93.3% understood the concept of the food diversification. The effectiveness of educational outreach in changing nutritional knowledge. A comparison of the pre-test and post-test results indicates that the educational inversion, which lasted approximately 30 minutes, was able to produce significant improvements in participants' understanding, particularly regarding topics that had previously been formally understood. Understanding of the food security increased from 0% to 100%, while understanding of food diversification rose from 0% to 93.3%. However, it should be noted for the several behavior-related indicators, such as limiting the consumption of packaged snacks, 96.7% awareness in the post-test compared to 93.3% in the pre-test, and perception regarding the adequacy of white rice in meeting the nutritional needs of children under 5. and we're not always linear, the expected direction. This is understandable and knowledge can be improved within relatively short period. Request change in attitudes and behavior generally require a longer process and continuous reinforcement.
Okay, next we move to the findings regarding mothers' awareness of their role in safeguarding family nutrition. Both the pre-test and post-test results show that all participants, or 100%, consistently agree that children's eating habits are strongly influenced by the food choices provided by their mothers at home on a daily basis. And this consistency indicates that mothers in Sinakala village already possess a strong awareness of their strategic role in shaping family dietary patterns. These findings highlight the importance of the educational outreach program, and as a mother are the key figures in the family nutrition ecosystem. Improving their nutritional literacy can directly influence the dietary habits of children under 5. So, with a better understanding of food diversification and the utilization of local food resources, mothers are expected to apply this knowledge in their daily food preparation and feeding practices. Okay, moving on to the next finding, we examined how relevant the outreach program was to the local condition in Pabuaran district. The educational materials, which focus on the utilization of non-rice local food resources, prove highly relevant to the actual condition of the area. Pabuaran district has significant potential in producing various non-rice agricultural commodities. And however, this potential has not yet been fully utilized in the community daily dietary patterns. In addition, the widespread availability of instant packaged foods has become a challenge as the products are often more accessible but may lack adequate nutritional value, and the pre-test results show that 93.3% participants were already aware of the potential negative impacts of packaged snacks. And however, awareness alone is not always enough to encourage behavioral change. Therefore, this educational outreach program play an important role by introducing nutrition, local food alternative, and practical ways to prepare them. It provides participants with the knowledge needed to transform awareness into healthier dietary practice for their family.
Limitation and potential follow-up action. Although the outreach program showed highly positive results, several limitations should be acknowledged. First, the activity involved only 15 participants in a single session, so its impact remains limited compared to the total population of Sinanghala village, which consists of 8,812 residents. Second, the program relied mainly on lectures and poster-based presentation and did not include practical demonstration of local food processing, which is one of the community's important needs. Furthermore, improvement in knowledge shown by the post-test result do not necessarily guarantee long-term behavioral change. Therefore, continuous monitoring, support from posyandu cadres, and village government programs such as Pekarangan Pangan Lestari or P2L are needed to sustain the benefits of the program and help improve the village food security index, which currently stands at 85.88. The findings indicate that the community already possesses practical knowledge and has access to abundant local food resources. However, a more structured understanding is still needed to maximize the use of this resource. In addition, mothers' awareness of their role in maintaining family nutrition is a valuable social asset. Nevertheless, the knowledge gained from a single outreach activity should be continuously reinforced to encourage sustainable behavioral change and strengthen food security in Sinagala village. Based on the findings of this program, several recommendations can be proposed. First, Posyandu caterers should consistently promote the My Plate or Isi Piringku campaign and food diversification during routine Posyandu activities. Second, families are encouraged to utilize local food resources such as cassava, sweet potatoes, maize, and local vegetables as part of nutrion's daily meal. Third, the village government should support programs such as Pekarangan Panlestari or P2L and provide training on local food processing to the community. Finally, future community service programs should not only focus on the theoretical education but also include practical demonstration of local food processing so that the participant can gain skills that can be directly applied in everyday life.
Okay, with that, I come to the end of our presentation. Thank you for your attention and participation. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.